What's going on, guys? I'm Jordan Fromer from Duck Gun Chronicles, your host of the YouTube Migration Report, where we bring you information from across the nation, from California to Virginia. We got reports coming in of duck numbers, weather, and conditions that hunters are experiencing on their hunts this last week. So without further ado, let's jump right into the Migration Report and check in with our first contributor.
Hi everybody, my name is Thomas from Virginia Outdoors Unlimited. I'm doing my report from here in Virginia and kind of just going to be talking about the Mid-Atlantic area in general. Before we start, I just want to say thank you to Jordan from Duck Gun Chronicles for setting this all up. I think it's a really cool project and I'm really excited to be a part of it. So here in Virginia, our duck season is out right now. That's why I didn't do a report last week. We had a 4-day early duck season in the beginning of October, and our season won't come back in until the end of November. However, we have had a rather cold October here in Virginia. We've had a few nights where the temperatures got down into the 30s, and we've had some good north wind days. So a little bit of a cold one, and hopefully that cold will continue into November. We haven't seen much in terms of duck migration yet. Heard some reports of ducks here and there, but really the blue-winged teal have already moved down through our state. We've had a push of green-winged teal, but nothing in terms of big ducks, and hopefully some wood ducks from the northern states will start to push down as their duck hunting seasons start to open up there. In terms of geese, we have started to see a few geese here and there. Saw 150 geese in a field the other day out here in the western part of the state, and I've heard some reports from some friends in the eastern part of the state that a few flocks of migrators are starting to show up here and there. But I'm looking forward to our duck hunting season here. Hope it's going to open up the last week of November, and then we'll be pretty much open through the end of January. So really excited for that. If you guys haven't already seen my channel, it's Virginia Outdoors Unlimited. Make sure to check that out, and I hope you guys are enjoying the Migration Report.
Hi, my name is Elliot, and I am the creator of Freelance Duck Hunting, and this is my migration report for the Midwest. As I said in my report last week, we were holding quite a few birds, but after the opening weekend, they are all scattered and everything has gotten stale really quickly. Until we get some kind of significant cold front, hunting's going to be pretty rough. There are birds around, but you got to work really hard to find them, find little pockets of them and hunt them. But until we get a nice cold front, I think things are going to be pretty rough. So I'll talk to you again next week, and hopefully things will be better.
Alright guys, just got done with the hunt out here. Got some wood ducks. But weather report, it's been raining, everything's flooded out here in Indiana and the surrounding states. I'm sure we really need a good push of birds. We thought maybe we'd have some more coming in here with the weather, but the rain hasn't done it. We just need colder temperatures and a bigger front to push birds into the area. So right now picking up some getaway decoys, and then I'll be getting out of here. So that's all we got for this week on the Migration Report, and we'll see you guys next week.
What's going on, guys? Matt from High Prairie Sportsman here once again for your weekly migration report. This week got in some greenheads, but just hunted some public land in a whole different area than the sandhills. Just like the sandhills though, these are all local birds. Seen some local Canada geese, saw a bunch of local mallards. There's some gray ducks and teal around, but that cold front early in October pushed a lot of our ducks out. Just haven't seen anything to really replace them. I'm sure there's still some migrators, some widgeon and pintail and gadwall and stuff like that, but really pushed a lot of the local birds out. Did see a flock of snow geese today. That's the first flock of snows I've seen, so they're on the move, obviously. Haven't seen any cranes or specks for a couple weeks. It's been, sunny and 60s the whole last week. It's supposed to stay like that until next week. It looks like there might be a break, but it's 50s, 40s, maybe chance rain, snow mix. That's what we need. We need some wind, we need some weather, we need birds to come down from the Dakotas and Canada. It's what we're waiting on, because if we have to hunt these birds for November like we did last year, it's going to get really stale. It's going to be really tough hunting. Managed to scratch 3 out on the public land in a war zone today, and 14 on Friday. Nothing yesterday. 2 roosters. Till next week, guys. We'll see ya.
Hello and happy Halloween from somewhere in Wisconsin. Birds are a little bit more stale this week in Wisconsin. Got out for a hunt on Sunday. Rainy conditions turning to very windy conditions. And I think we saw 15 mallards total. in the day. This is hunting the southeastern part of Wisconsin, and saw 15 mallards, knocked one down. Here's an exclusive clip of that right here. So there aren't nearly as many birds around in the area as there has been. The geese, we were actually out goose hunting, and there just weren't that many geese around flying. We saw several bigger flocks off in the distance. We just didn't see very many up close. On a positive note, there still are some pockets of birds, and if you can find where they want to eat and where they want to feed, I mean, there's a lot of birds around in those kinds of areas. There's one flooded field that I see on my way to work that is just loaded with ducks and geese every single day. And there's just, I mean, you could do an afternoon hunt there, you could do a morning hunt there, it doesn't matter. There's so many birds in there that they're loaded. They're loaded in there. So if you find the right pockets of birds, you can have some good hunts. And, you know, like I said, when we got out this weekend, we got a little bit of shooting in. But the weather here has been pretty mild. I think that's led to some stale birds in the area, or birds that have just kind of moved on. We didn't have that many crops cut in this part of the state. The farmers are just starting to cut all the corn and stuff, so I think that will bring more birds around. Lows in the upper 30s to mid 30s, highs in the upper 40s to 50s over the next week or so. My dad and I are headed out to the river this weekend, so we should have some hunts coming to you next week. Make sure you check them out on our channel. I just posted my first ever diver hunt somewhere in Wisconsin as well. We were actually on the bay, so if you haven't seen that, make sure you head on over to somewhere in Wisconsin and check out that vid. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in, checking out the Migration Report in Wisconsin, and we'll see you next week here at Duck Gun Chronicles Migration Report. Later.
Hey guys, this is Johnny from Foul Assassins reporting to you for the California Migration Report, how it is so far. This last week went on 2 hunts. Not the greatest. I think the infamous November hunting is here. We have had no weather. There's no bird movement. It's been hot. We starts out in the morning around the 50s. By the time it gets to even 9 or 10 o'clock, it's already in the 70s, maybe even 80s. Bad weather for duck hunting, and the ducks have not migrated down yet. The only thing we've been seeing are shovelers and teal and occasional mallards and pintails, all local birds. Nothing has moved down yet. Up north, there was thousands of specks moved in. The geese, all flying high, but they were everywhere. And in the grasslands, hardly any ducks. It's just been very slow. So that's the migration report for this week in California. Everything's just slow right now. We've got to wait till the weather and the birds come in, and then we'll be golden. But if you want to see any of my duck hunting videos, be sure to go check them out at my channel, Foul Assassins. Everything will be down below. And this is this week's YouTube Migration Report.
What's going on, guys? This is Rick with Southern Ohio Pursuit, and this is this week's Migration Report. We'd like to thank Jordan for having us a part of this. So down here in Ohio, we're here in the first split. It's been pretty decent for an opener. We had a lot of mallards in the area, bigger ducks than we usually have in this area for, you know, how early it is. Up north of us in the Dayton and Columbus area, and then even west of us over in Hamilton, they've had a lot of gray ducks, widgeon, green wings. It seems like those are moving through and have moved out. The woodies has pretty much moved out. It's supposed to warm up over the next 2 days, about 60 degrees, so we're looking for a cold front, colder weather up north, and a big push of ducks. I don't think it's going to happen in this split, so season ends Sunday, and we're going to hit it hard until then, but the birds that are here have really become stale, so just waiting on that big push. Again, this is Rick with Southern Ohio Pursuit, and this is this week's Migration Report.
And that's a wrap on this week's Migration Report. Very interesting to see the reports coming in and the consistency across the board, all the way from California, all the way to Virginia. Everybody saying it's stale. The birds are the same ones we've been hunting, and we need a cold push and a migration to happen to have some more successful hunts. So I can concur with my findings that that's where we're at right now. So we really need that. So As always, guys, really appreciate all the contributors giving in the reports. Really helpful for me, for everybody else looking to hunt the ducks and knowing what's going on. And really appreciate the new faces we have coming on and helping us out with this report. So one little thing that I want to do, if you're somebody who has a report and you take a little bit of video, then that'd be great. I'm going to highlight one person each week. All you need to do is do the report at the field and do video, make sure it's good quality, and make sure you went on an awesome hunt. All those things combined, if you guys send me that clip, duckgunchronicles@gmail.com, each week I'm going to pick one person to highlight from that. So that'll be great, and I'll add you into the report. So anyways, guys, that's all we have for this week. Stay tuned for next week's report, and until then, I'm Duck Gun Chronicles, and we'll see you guys next time. Let's go.